Hey everyone, if these stories about quiet strength and real comebacks hit home for you, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss one. Let's dive in. The line was crossed when her lawyer smiled. Not a friendly one, not even professional. It was the smirk of someone who thought the story was already finished, and I was just there to listen quietly while he read the last page. He straightened his cufflinks, looked at me like I was a typo on a spreadsheet, and said my name with fake sympathy. Unemployed, college dropout, financially clueless. The words hit sharp and clean, meant to cut without leaving a mess. I didn't react. That threw him off. The courtroom felt cold like a hospital, sterile, bright, unforgiving. Wooden benches worn smooth by years of nervous hands. The court seal staring down like it never blinked. My wife sat across the aisle, posture perfect, chin up. Her father next to her, solid and commanding, fingers laced like he owned the place. They were dressed for a win. I wore the same suit from our wedding day. It still fit. That meant something to me. When her lawyer listed what they wanted, my bank accounts, the car, the apartment, the room seemed to lean in. Hunger has its own sound. It's quiet. It's the lack of compassion. They painted me as a burden, a freeloader, a guy who'd stumbled into marriage and was now being set straight by grown-ups. My wife kept her eyes on the judge, like he was handling a return. The judge listened, nodded, jotted notes, neutral, almost bored. He'd heard this one before. Guys like me were routine. Guys like her father were convincing. When the lawyer finished, he sat back slowly, enjoying the quiet he thought he'd earned. That's when the bailiff stood. Older guy, face lined from years on the job, no flair in his steps. He opened a thick folder that took both hands. The snap of the ring sounded louder than it should have. Assets under review, he started. First, a joint savings account. Routine. My wife let out a breath. Her father nodded once. Second, the car, paid off. Her lawyer smirked. Third, the bailiff paused, not for drama, just to read clearly. He adjusted his glasses, cleared his throat, reread it. The judge leaned forward, then jerked back. His chair scraped as he half stood, eyes wide, face going pale. Stop right there, he said, voice sharp through the room. Get security in here. My wife froze. I didn't move. This was the moment I'd waited for, the sound of gravity kicking in. The air shifted after that. You could feel it, like the pressure drop before rain. Security rushed in. The bailiff's hands shook as he shut the folder. The judge whispered to the clerk, then louder, called for a break. My wife looked at me then. Her eyes searched my face for confusion. They found nothing. I thought back to the first betrayal, the quiet one, over dinner. She'd asked casually why my name wasn't on certain accounts, why I kept things separate. Her father had smiled then too, the same way her lawyer did now, like someone watching a plan fall into place. They never got silence. They thought it meant I was empty. I'd dropped out of college, sure. Walked away from a system that valued compliance over smarts. I built my life in the shadows. Consulting deals, equity stakes, silent partnerships. I moved money like a surgeon. Precise, unseen, deadly if you get it wrong. Everything was legal, documented, protected, except one thing. I'd never shielded them from reality. When my wife started moving money, small amounts at first, I noticed right away. Patterns don't hide. When her father started guiding her, the amounts grew. They thought I was too basic to catch on, too thankful to question. So I let it go. I let them think they were ahead. Silence became my tool. I rerouted assets, locked accounts, triggered audits, quietly activated clauses they'd never bothered to read. Clauses that flipped control the second trust broke. I documented everything. The bailiff's third item was the holding company. Not the one they knew, the deeper one. A shell they'd tied themselves to when they faked my signature. A shell flagged automatically when funds crossed international lines. The judge didn't see divorce assets. He saw a federal issue. When court resumed, my wife's lawyer looked sick. He wouldn't meet my eyes. The judge spoke carefully now, each word careful. "Mr. Hayes," he said, looking right at me for the first time. "Anything you'd like to add before we continue?" I stood slowly. "I'd like to clarify," I said, voice even, "that every asset in question was acquired independently. Any suggestion of financial incompetence was intentional." Her father shifted, just a little, the first real crack. "And the transfers made without my consent," I continued, "are documented, traced, and reported." Silence again. This time it was mine. Her lawyer tried to speak. The judge stopped him. Security stood closer. The bailiff opened the folder again, steadier now. He read the rest. Frozen accounts, revoked access, investigations pending. By the fifth item, my wife was crying. Not softly, not gracefully. Raw, broken sounds. Her father stood, demanding answers, dropping names, calling on influence. None of it mattered anymore. Influence doesn't climb when gravity pulls down. They took her out first. She looked back once, eyes wide with something like realization, as if she finally saw the man she'd married. Not a dropout, a planner. Outside the courtroom, the hallway smelled like old paper and panic. Her father tried to talk to me, apologize, bargain. I walked past. Weeks later, the apartment was quiet. My apartment. I sat on the balcony, city lights glowing below, wine untouched. The divorce wrapped up fast after that. No demands, no fights. She sent one message. I didn't know. I deleted it. Revenge isn't noisy. It doesn't brag. It just resets the balance. They wanted my life divided up like prizes. Instead, they learned what happens when you mistake quiet for weakness. I didn't raise my voice. I let the system do it. And when the judge called for security, when my wife stopped breathing for a second, I felt something settle inside me. Not happiness, relief. Because respect, once lost, doesn't need to be begged for. It just needs to be taken back.